Hello everyone, this is Sam, Mad Sam Wicked Read. Actually it says Mad Sam Wicked Dread, but I don't have the dreads, the dreads are gone. The topic today is very simple. It's called the European Union and the British people. Most Eastern Europeans claim that they are here in the UK because British people, and when I say British people, we're not talking about white or green or black or Chinese or Muslim or Christian. British people are lazy and don't want to do the low jobs like clean the streets and dig up the sidewalks and all those jobs. Well, that's not quite true. If you look at these companies who hire these Eastern Europeans, some Costas and other catering firms and these construction companies, they basically exploit these people. And they exploit them because most of them are either working as self-employed, and don't ask how they do that because half of them can't read, write, comprehend English properly. So how they manage to get a CSCS card to be registered as self-employed, I don't understand. And when you're talking about Health and Safety Act, well, it makes you wonder exactly what kind of regulations we have in this country. Health and safety. And these people cannot read, write, or speak any form of English. It's like, yes, no, understand, yes, sir, yes, sir. Okay. How do they get a CSCS card when you have to do it on the computer? It just shows you that these organizations are pushing people through to get it because the government is paying them money. These training organizations, again, a big old fraud and con by the government. It doesn't matter who it was, Labour government or Conservative, because they're both the same. That's number one. Number two, let's look at the other issue. The average social housing for, let's take Southeast London as in maybe Lewisham, and when I say Lewisham, we're talking in the near the town square around that side. A two-bedroom property will cost you roughly about £600 a month. Council tax will be about £103 a month. And you haven't added light and gas to that yet. Now, if you have somebody, right, who is working as a single mother or a single father, or even a young couple. So, let's say now they're taking home between the husband and the wife roughly 1,800, 2,000 a month the most. And that person, to get that type of money, would have to be working with a company for many years because the average salary as a porter in the hospital is about, maybe after tax, about £300 a week. But you haven't calculated one thing yet. So let's say they were working in East London. They would have to leave Grove Park SE12, get a bus to Lewisham or Deptford to get the DLR across. So they're going to spend roughly another 2 hours to get to work in the morning. And just buying a travel card on Zone 2 and Zone 3 will cost them roughly, using the Oyster, like I said, and taking the bus and the DLR, so they don't get to think, will basically cost them about £27 a week. But to do that cheap, they have to, like I said, wake up early and catch a bus from Grove Park, SE12, to Lewisham, SE13, and then on the DLR, and then from the DLR across to one of the other places, Canary Wharf, and then change again to get into the East London side of Mile End, Whitechapel, Shoreditch, whatever. So, and there's £27 a week on that card, plus 2 hours in travelling each way. Then, of course, you're talking lunch. So lunch on so let's tea. Let's start off with tea. Tea break in the morning at 10 o'clock. That's going to cost them £1.50 for a cup of coffee, plus maybe a sandwich or a fruit. Lunch, another £5. Afternoon tea. So you're talking roughly £10 a day minimum for subsistence to live and carry out their duties, so they have the energy mentally and physically. So let's multiply that times 5. So that's £50 a week just in lunch. And that's £27, call it £30, right, for traveling expenses. So you're talking 5 and 3, 80, okay, minus the £3. So, when you work that out, £77 already gone, right? Now, remember what I said to you, they're getting £350 for the week. Now, in that, you remember we haven't calculated yet how much it costs them for clothes, as in to wash their clothes and all the stuff, and the light and the gas where they live. And we haven't calculated kids, the two little kids, or as they say in life, the 0.5 family. The 12-year-old child who's going to primary school, or well, let me rephrase that. The 12-year-old just started secondary school, right, and has to take up and get a free bus pass, but they have to pay for lunch, because as far as the government is concerned, they're working. And what about the little 6-year-old child who's going to the local nursery primary school down the road? Then there's that lunch you have to pay for too, plus the school uniforms. So, now, we haven't talked about if they have a car or they have a mobile phone. And we're not talking about the most expensive mobile phone. But let's take a basic mobile phone, £30 a month for the contract, plus the bill. What about if they have a normal car? When I say a normal car, say a Ford Focus 1.6, 2010-12 model, that's going to cost them second-hand nearly £200 a month. And we haven't talked about the car insurance, nor the fuel or the maintenance yet. So remember what I said at the beginning. This man or woman is earning £350 a week. Yeah? But they're going to be working 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. And some of them even worse, especially if they're in security. They'll be working 60, 70, 90 hours a week, some of them. Because some of them are 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And then, of course, if the husband is doing the same as well. So at which point is these people lazy? And remember, we haven't added the furniture in the house yet. Because obviously they got to buy furniture unless they're going to buy everything second hand. And they haven't talked about the maintenance for the kids, because when the kids are after school, who's going to pick them up and look after them? The nursery childminder fees or the after school club fees. These Eastern Europeans are a bunch of assholes. They need to stop crap. Right? Because what they do, they go and rent a room in a house. And they will rent a double room. And two of them will stay in there, and they pay the owner of the house £600 a month for the two of them to stay in that room, in that house. But they're not paying light, they're not paying gas, they're not paying council tax. So they can afford to chat what they want to chat. And there's lots of them in this country, and the councils and the government are a bunch of hypocrites. And I say the government, whether it be the Labour or Conservative, right, and the Lib Dems, a bunch of hypocrites. And the Mayor of London, an idiot. Right? Yes, Mr. Sadiq Khan, you. Theresa May, you. Mr. Corbyn, you. A bunch of liars and hypocrites. Because you go to some of these places, what they do, you get a couple, a family, and they'll create fake documents and go to this agent to say that they're earning X amount of money when they're not. And they'll go and rent so let's say a 3-bedroom house, right, privately from a landlord, a private landlord. And we're talking somewhere like Lewisham, Grove Park, Deptford, those areas. And they'll get a 3-bedroom place, and they'll pay the estate agency £1,500 a month, £1,200-1,500 a month. But that 3-bedroom place will have 10 people living in it. 10. Because in one bedroom, you'll have a couple with their little son. In the other bedroom, you have a couple with another little child. And in the other room, you have maybe 4. Because in the biggest room, they'll put 2 bunk beds in there and have 4 guys living in there. And then we don't talk about the front room yet, or the living room. Because in that living room, they'll turn it into a bedroom too, and have another 4 sleeping in there on two bunk beds. Right? And each of these people living in this place will pay the person who rented the house initially, right, £400 a month. So you see, they can afford to do that because they don't have no responsibility, because they go into this house where the beds are provided, the cooker is provided, the settee is provided, the TV is provided, the pot is provided, everything is provided. All you need to buy is toilet paper to wipe their ass, right? And food. Right? And pay their light and gas. But what is a light bill or a gas bill when you have 10 people in the 3-bedroom house? And out of those 10 people, maybe 2 of them is kids who go into school. And the women are going out doing cleaning jobs, right, for £8 an hour cash in hand. Right, well, so you Eastern Europeans And I'm not prejudiced in it because some of them are so pretty and I like some of them too. But don't chat rubbish, you people are talking about, oh, British people don't want to work. They cannot do what you do, right? You do that because on one reason why you do it, not because you love England. You're exploiting it because all the money that you're getting from your tenant you're living in one house and taking this money and to put together, you're sending half of it back home to Romania and Bulgaria and them places, right? That's what you do. Please do not criticize the society that you are stealing from. Because these women in the house, you claim that they're your wife and these are your kids, right? But they're not in your name. And they're claiming family tax credit and child benefit and all this thing, while you are out doing 60 hours a week, doing laboring on the roads or on the construction site, collecting 350, 400, 500 pounds a week as self-employed. Yeah, and that woman there who you claim is your wife and your children is claiming from thing. So you all can afford to live a sweet little life. The normal British person cannot do it. And there's a number of reasons why. They have pride as well. They have to live like a family because they're a family. Then they can't pack up and run like you back to Bulgaria and Czechoslovakia and Romania and all these countries. So please, you media, right, whether it be the Evening Standard, which I read some article about recently, which they published, or the Metro, and all these other newspapers, and the Mail, and the Express, you need to stop writing editorial crap, right? Get your facts. These people are scamming the system so hard. Look at the cars they drive on the road. They all have their number plates. Do you know that in Ireland, if you live in the country for more than 3 months, you have to register the car with an Irish number plate, pay Irish road tax, and insure your car in Ireland? These people living and working here 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, and the car is still registered in Romania and Bulgaria and Poland and Czechoslovakia, right? And insured over there. And they're still driving their European driver's license, right? And then the government can't find them to give them parking tickets. The government can't find them to give them any kind of tickets or collect anything from them. And if they crash into your car, try to collect the insurance. You ain't getting nothing. And they run over on the traffic light, they jump on the plane, and it's news every day in the news. Right? They jump on the plane, run back to Romania, come back with a different ID saying that their name is no longer Delinky, whatever thing. They come back with a different name. Same picture, but a different name. And nobody checks them because they're afraid to check them. The border control is afraid to check them because as far as the border control is concerned, right? Oh, you're being racist. Look up the word racist. It has nothing to do with criminal activity. It has nothing to do with your culture. Racist is to do with the color of your skin. And it's not discriminatory to check and say, hello, you can't do these things. It's time the British public, and I say the British public, the honest British public, hard-working British public, whether you're black, white, right, pink, green, yellow, that's color to do with race. Whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jew, atheist, fine. Young, old, I don't care. Whether your ancestry came from India or Jamaica or Poland, I don't care. But it's time the honest British person get up, right, and stand up and fight for your rights, right? And that means you lobby your MP and tell your MP, stop sitting. You voted for your MP to represent you. And if your MP and your mayor and your local council cannot defend you and your borough because these people are thieving, right? And I say thieving because they are thieving. 10 of them in one house and only paying council tax for the thing, saying that there's only one of them in the house and 10 of them in the house, right? And there's child benefit going in there, working tax credits and all the list going on. Yeah. Come on, please. You mayors, you councillors, right? You're a bunch of fraud. You're right. You say you're representing the people in the boroughs where you're supposed to be the elected. You're not. You're only there to get your fat money from the party you represent, whether it be the Labour Party, the Lib Dems, or the Conservative. You're interested in getting your 70 or 80,000 a year plus all the benefits. You don't care two craps about the people. You're a bunch of lying, conniving, manipulating scum. No better than the Eastern European ones. Sadly, I will say this, and truthfully too. For every 10 Eastern European in this country. 4 are probably genuine and the 6 are a bunch manipulating the system and exploiting the system. Most of them are working in companies because the companies can exploit them, don't give them sick pay, don't give them holiday pay, and if they don't, if they want time off, they can't have time off, and the list goes on. And when they're hiring staff, they bring their brother in, and the brother bring the brother, and the cousin and the nephew, and the list goes on. If a British black person did that, or a British Indian person did that, or a British white person did that, or a British Chinese person did that, you would hear how that organization is prejudice and discrimination. But because you're a big organization like McDonald's and Costa's and and all the others, right? You hire these people because you can beat the system. Amazon does it too. It's called exploitation and modern day slavery. So I say rise up, get up, stand up and fight for your rights. And I'm not talking about violence. I am talking like Gandhi said. Sit down in the streets and protest that it needs to change and send these people home, right? And pay the proper people the proper jobs. British people used to do those jobs for years. School people used to do those jobs part-time while they're studying at university. Right? And that is the facts. It's not that we don't want the jobs. We can't do it and expect us to pay for what it is. And when the government lie, whether it be the Labour or the Conservative government lie and say, unemployment is down, unemployment is up. Because what you have is that every time these people go to the job centre, they tell them, we send you on a training course to learn to write CV. We send you on a training course how to learn to use the internet. And half these people are already more savvy than me and you and the government put together on how to use this. But as far as the company is concerned, once you're at a training course at some organisation where they're paying thousands to, you are no longer counted as unemployed because you're on a training course. But none of these political parties want to change that because it makes them look good. They're a bunch of liars. Come on, people. Rise up, get up, stand up, and fight for your rights. This is Mad Sam Wicked Dread, speaking to you. Have a nice weekend when it comes. Remember, tomorrow is the Friday the 13th of October, 2017. Good luck. Buy your lottery ticket too. You might just be lucky. I buying one. Right? And if I win, I gone. Bye-bye and good luck. Spread the word.